This design project in Greenwood Village, Colorado, is actually the architect's own design studio, and it's a masterclass in the use of materials.
I used to take walks through this area, and I noticed this parcel of land that was so narrow that nobody had built on it for over 40 years. And then we discovered that it was a nonprofit that owned it. We approached them and said, would you like to work with us, sell off this piece of land we can share? And they said yes. And so we developed this.
Ah, okay, so this was just scrubland before.
It was. And what we try to do is what we call a duality of uses, working with people to develop partnerships to work together, using materials that have more than one use at a time.
So this duality of uses idea, this became the theme of the project.
It is. It's something we strive for, whether it's native grasses that use little water, whether it's working with our nonprofit neighbor to support them and help them out, whether it's materials. We want each material to demonstrate that it can serve more than one purpose.
Now, Tim, these beams are ever present, but hey, you can tell me, did somebody muck up? Because they seem higgledy-piggledy.
You might think so, but actually they're intentionally based on the Fibonacci sequence. The Fibonacci sequence is a pattern that you find in nature, and it was our intent that when people look from the inside, they would be framed views out to the gardens. And from the outside, they anchor the ground to the sky.
And doing two jobs.
Yes, and there's another job I want to show you on the inside.
Oh, Tim, what a beautiful work environment.
Thank you, Mike.
Now, what is the big idea here?
Well, the big idea is that we're on a long, narrow site. So it's like a line, and we stacked everybody vertically. We want them to see out to the gardens, into the trees around us. We lined up the structure of the steel with the glass joints so that way we don't have to have as many materials. Instead, we're using the Sedev clips, and that's why it looks like it's so open. You don't see as many pieces and parts and frames.
And these desks, they got a story?
Well, yes, they do. Actually, we worked with Uplift Desks to customize the desktop, where these are reclaimed Douglas fir from a local school. It ties in perfectly.
And then over here?
Well, over here you have the core of the building, the kitchenette. We use porcelanosa for the countertops, for the cabinetry, and for the tile.
Okay, so Tim, to answer my own question, if I may, about what the big idea is, I think it's the embracing of nature.
That was a vision.
Now the big statement in here is all this timber, and this is your work.
It is, yeah. My team created all that mass timber. It's called mass timber because it's a massive amount of timber, as
exactly.
you can see here.
Yeah, unstoppable. And you can smell it as well.
That's why I encourage my clients not to put any stain or paint onto the wood, to leave it as natural as possible. It feels like sitting under a tree with all the wood around you, and then the nature out there is just coming right through the windows in here, so yeah.
And you've thought about what's next as well, like afterlife.
We really want to make sure that our buildings or our components for the buildings don't create any extra garbage for future generations. So a building like this will last 100, 200 years. And after that, it's easy to take apart. The individual pieces can take apart down to the single 2x6. But I don't know why somebody wants to take it down a building like this. So maybe it's still here in 300 years.
I think so. We should come back and see.
Exactly, yeah.
Nia, how's all this working for you?
Well, working in such an open space with so much greenery close to nature definitely instills a sense of biophilia. And not only does it inspire creativity, it also uplifts the mood quite a bit.
Mike, let me tell you something interesting that happened from this project. We are working with people like Grandview Glass and working them early, using their expertise to help make better projects.
And I understand your workspace here, you've got a name for it.
I've nicknamed it the Treehouse. And at this time of year, you can see all the leaves and you really feel like you're up in the trees. When those fall down and in the wintertime, you get to look out and see vistas of the mountains, and It's just a very inspiring space to be.
Now, Ross, you're the builder
Yes.
on this, and I smell trouble with this project because the architect was also the client. I'm not sure what I think about that.
Yeah, that's one of those things as contractors that we're always a little leery of. But that was never the case with One Line Studio. We've done really successful projects in the past with them, and we knew they will just check their ego at the door.
And I understand you learnt quite a lot together.
Yeah, we learned that collaboration is so paramount in a project like this, where there's so many unique materials and how they go together needs to be seamless.
And I'm seeing a lot of timber, a lot of steel. They're not necessarily cooperative bedfellows.
It looks good on the end product, but it took a lot of work starting early on to be able to mesh all those parts and pieces together. We can now collaborate and bring in other prospective clients and show them what we can do together.
Well, it's a unique build.
Absolutely. It's not your grandfather's office building, nice and square.
No, it is not. This project is actually quite simple, made up of the 4 big boys: concrete, steel, glass, and timber. And those materials are often behind the scenes, but here they're celebrated and curated into an award-winning form.